welcome to a special edition of Stride by Stride, where we record from the Bristol Running Show. Enjoy this episode as we talk to various different clubs, groups and professionals from the local area about what they do and what they contribute towards the running community. Okay, welcome back to Stride by Stride. We are at Bristol Running Show today, and we are about to join the 3 mile point
yes,
of
we
the
were
5k.
Slightly late.
It's like, we got everyone running through at the moment. So, well done, everyone.
Well done.
We're going to come in at the back because we don't
are.
want to disadvantage anyone.
No.
We're actually going to finish at the back, I think. In fairness to everyone. Well done.
Somewhere I'm used to as a slower runner.
Yeah. Well done, everyone. We were late, so we're going to join at the back. And this is a 5k race that they're running as part of the Bristol Running Show today, and we are going to join the people at the back, which is it's good that they do this, isn't it, Josh?
It is, I like this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you. Cheers. So we're at the Bower Club down in Filton today. This is the Bristol Running Show, and they're doing a 5k race. It's on a flat surface, just around the field, and the going's good on the ground, isn't it, mate?
It is. It is a bit slippy for me.
Is it? Oh,
but,
yeah. Road shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got
Well,
road
it is
shoes.
dry.
Yeah.
But we're going to try now and chat.
Yeah, chat to some
To
people.
some
You're right
people.
to be interviewed, guys.
Okay.
You are on Stride by Stride podcast today. Welcome to Bristol Running Show. Are you local?
No,
Oh, okay. Where have you travelled from?
Edinburgh.
Oh, Edinburgh, all the way down from Edinburgh.
Yes.
So welcome to Bristol. Have you been before?
Bristol, yes.
Yes. So have you haven't come all the way just for a 5k run, though, have you?
No, came to do a pasta cooking course in Bath yesterday.
Oh,
very
wow, okay.
Interesting.
Good. So just an opportune moment, thinking there's some running going on locally.
Yes, my son lives a couple of miles down the road. Facebook picked up that I wasn't at home.
Okay.
Okay.
And I spotted the running show. We were going to go for a run.
Marvellous.
My Jog Scotland leader over there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we're from the Jog Scotland Edinburgh Meadows group.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 runs a week,
Excellent.
on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night.
Brilliant.
And,
And what sort of things do you do at your running club?
well, it's a jog club.
Oh, okay.
So we have Tuesday night is more of a longer run, 8 to 10k. Wednesday night is hills. We have lots of hills in Edinburgh.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And steps that go up and down. I don't know if you've been to Edinburgh. So we have steps that go up to the castle, things like that.
Excellent.
Hollywood Park.
Oh, it's
Arthur
lovely.
Seat.
Yeah. And are you? Have you got any sort of running goals at the moment? Are you working towards anything?
Running wise now, I'm more of a cyclist.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Running is the winter activity, so 5k, 10k most of the night.
Right. Okay. Well, good. You're out, active,
Yeah.
and even on an opportune visit to Bristol. So
Absolutely. No rest on tour, I think is how it goes.
excellent. And tell us the name of your running club again.
It's Edinburgh Jog Scotland Meadows.
Wow.
Okay, excellent.
Brilliant.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on you,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure that you get mentioned. You might even try and catch up with your fellow up ahead.
Yes, I would. She's a boss.
But we will drop back because we didn't start at the beginning, and that just doesn't seem fair, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. We're
We cut in on the race, didn't we?
we did.
Because of time. Thank you for talking to us.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Cheers. So we're here with the Sri Chimnoy organisers now. Just wondering, can you tell us a little bit about what the Sri Chimnoy events are all about, what the cause is for, and what can people do local to Bristol, Sri Chimnoy?
Okay, well, we're probably the only running and triathlon club founded by a spiritual teacher, a meditation teacher. That was Sri Chimnoy. And we began as a meditation group and then morphed into a running and triathlon organisation that's now in 40 countries around the world. Local to Bristol, we organise small races really aimed at beginners. They're very relaxed, very welcoming. The triathlon we offer is only about 50, 60 people. The distances are super short, so people who aren't that confident haven't tried it before can do one that just involves a 200-metre swim, a 10k bike and a 3k run. And it only costs £20. So
really accessible, yeah.
Really good. That's the idea. We feel that physical fitness is life-enhancing and open to everybody. We want to lower those barriers to participation and get everyone involved.
Okay. And I've done the Sri Chimnoy, one of the series at Eastfield Park. So that's probably the most accessible and well-known one, I would say, in Bristol. When does that take place again?
They start on the 6th of May this year.
Yep.
And we have a series of 3 2-milers. They're on Tuesday evenings in Eastfield Park. We have a junior race, and that's actually very well attended now. We have youngsters from age sort of like 10 upwards come and do a 1-mile event once around the park. And then after they've finished and we've presented all the medals to the juniors, we have a senior race, and that's 2 miles, 2 laps of the park. And then in July, the most fun race we do is known as the Ice Cream Relay.
Yes.
It's a 3x1 mile relay. You need a team of 3, each person doing 1 mile. You can have a team from a running club. We also give a prize to the best team who are all from the same family.
Okay.
Or a team that are all non-club runners, just like irregulars, casuals.
Yeah.
So there's all these different categories, so many chances to win a prize. And if you don't win a prize, you still get an ice cream.
Sounds amazing.
And that is the prize. And you've also got exercise as well, which is obviously what it's all about. Great. So, and how can people find out about these events?
SriChinmoyRaces.org.
Okay,
Or if you can't spell that, search for Eastfield Park Races and you'll find us.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for talking to us. That's
really good.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Hi there, all right?
Hiya.
Are you all right to talk on our podcast at all?
I can try.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we're Stride by Stride podcast. We're based here in Bristol. Are you local?
Yeah, I live in Fish Ponds.
Oh, Fish
Nice.
Pond. Oh, quite close to us then. Are you in a part of a running group?
No?
Oh, okay. Are you... I'm asking a lot of close questions here. So what sort of running do you do? Like park run, that sort of thing, or?
I used to do a lot of distance trail road runs,
Okay,
and then in 2020 I stopped,
okay,
so I'm just getting back into it now.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm mostly just running by myself, getting myself up to like 10k distance, ready for the Bristol 10k in May.
Oh, excellent. Good,
Oh, brilliant.
good goal. Yeah, excellent. Okay. And what sort of goals have you got? Is it finish lines rather than finish times,
Absolutely.
or? Yeah.
Not coming last.
No,
I think you'll be all right.
I think you'll be fine.
It's a big field.
It is a big
Bristol, isn't
field.
So, good. And how's training going?
Ups and downs, yeah.
Okay.
Some days I think, God, this is easy, and other days I get back to my house and think I'm gonna hurl. So,
Oh, you're doing it properly then.
Yeah, all in.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll leave you there for now.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for talking to us.
okay.
And
Cheers.
we're
Good
going to
luck.
drop back as we get closer to the finish line.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Josh and I were asked to interview Tamara Miller. Tamara Miller is a nutritionist, a coach, an ultra runner, and also completed her own Ironman that she self-supported recently. We caught up with her at one of the talks.
Okay, we are here today at the Bristol Running Show with Tamara Miller. And you're from Bournemouth, and you're an ultra runner. So ultra runner, triathlon, nutritionist, coach. Is there anything that you don't do? Holistic. I think is the word. Okay. Tamara, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
Okay.
like a pleasure.
First time to Bristol, I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the very first time that I've been to Bristol. And so far, everything I heard is true. Like the people are super nice.
We are super nice.
We're on our best behaviour today. I
We
think,
are,
as a whole town, just for this. So, Tamara, we caught up with you slightly before the interview. Just really interested in some of the stuff that you've done in your journey to becoming an ultra marathon runner, which has kind of, I suppose, peaked with your self-supported Ironman that you did. So what was the kind of inspiration to do something self-supported Ironman, which I think is just phenomenal, I've got to say. You know, it's like I'm going to self-motivate to do 3 sports in one go.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
To be honest, like the background story to do a self-supported Ironman isn't that romantic. So I signed up for an official Ironman actually, and you pay quite a lot of money. And then I was quite disappointed, and there were some bumps in the road basically. So I decided at some point, like it was a week before the actual race, and I was like, well, I still don't know really anything where I'm gonna be, what's about the race, etc. I'm not gonna go into too much detail now, but I was like, I can't trust that it will happen next week, and I would need to fly over to Austria and do it, and etc. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do it with the company, so I withdraw. And then the next morning, I was like, just really, I had all the emotions. I didn't know what was happening because there was no race. I trained for it for years. Okay. You sacrifice a lot, right? And I really wanted to see if I can do it or not, because an Ironman is just such an insane idea, and I'm terrified of open water swimming.
Okay.
And
how did you overcome that?
Yeah.
I suppose
Yeah,
it's probably a really decent question.
And how far in the water did you have to swim?
In the water it is 3.9 kilometers, I think it is. Yes, in the open water, without any help or anything. No, like it was just terrifying. And actually, my goggles were filled up with tears, and I was crying and shaking, like no joke.
And that's the start of your challenge. Well, I mean, that way to go.
Yeah.
So was, I suppose, you know, because again, I think when you talk to a lot of Ironman triathletes, all that sort of stuff, they often focus on the saying, yeah, swimming, not my strength. You know, you hear that a lot. So how do you overcome that fear?
To be honest, sometimes you just gotta do it. You have to do it over and over again. And I had like real panic attacks in the water, which was dangerous as well at some point. But I knew that everything you ever wanted sits on the other side of fear. And I kept saying that to me. And as crazy as it sounds, but I knew I'm like, okay, if I do the swim, if I survive it, like I would survive anything, and then the bike was just a nice ride, and then the run was the icing on the cake. I'm like, now can the party start?
I'm in my groove now, and this is where it starts. And actually, that is where the race starts, isn't it? When in those, you know, sort of multi-sport events, is that actually, you know, most people that get into that are probably runners anyway, aren't they? But then also it's like, okay, I'm in my groove now. I'm warmed up, and actually this is my passion.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But to answer your question, I just woke up the next day, and I thought I'm a person, like I'm very an introverted person, and I let my actions speak. So I thought, you know what, I can do it myself.
Good for you.
And then I arranged it within 48 hours. And then I got up on Sunday morning, and I started at 5 a.m. and just did it on a Sunday morning, and only like a handful of people knew about it. And I had my van made up as my transition area, and someone crashed into my van just 8 hours before. No joke, like, it was insane. But yeah, made it.
It's and well done. I mean, and you know, I've done self-supported events and challenges myself as well, and you know, I vouch for that as well. The fact that it kind of really lifts that pressure off, doesn't it? You know, it's people might know about it, like say, like a small section of people know about it, but actually, for me, I'm quite competitive, and I feel like if I enter something that was like a 100-mile event, I'd be like, I'm gonna find myself starting to get competitive through it. But then doing it on my own back is that I can lift all that pressure. I don't have. I'm the only person I'm competing with. Then is myself, and that can change the complexion of things. So. Well done, you know, that's fantastic.
Did you get a nice medal?
Reward
See,
yourself.
I had like nothing of anything. No red carpet, no medal, nothing. I mean, I got my tattoo, but I didn't.
Absolutely.
No medal. I'm out.
Well, yeah, I mean, different motivators motivate people, don't they, essentially. And, you know, it's important to kind of grasp onto those things yourself.
Yeah, I think they're like this intrinsic motivators and extrinsic, and what I've found doing ultra trail runs or the triathlon, depending on where I'm at and in my mood, it changes. So sometimes I need something simple to think about, and I saw that picture, that medal before the ultra trail run, I want to get it. But when you're really deep down in the race, and everything is just screaming for hours and stop doing it, then you need something deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
So you need a deeper why.
Definitely. There are some dark moments
Yes.
you sort of go to that
Yeah.
you can't really explain to other people unless they've sort of done it themselves.
Yeah.
But I was only saying to Martin earlier, or he was saying to me, you know, sometimes you've got to like stride for something that's almost impossible, to push yourself to that limit, to come out the other side and go, do you know what, I did it.
Yeah.
And it's such a massive buzz, really, that, you know, last year I did the London Marathon for the first time, and for 2 weeks afterwards I had like the medal in my pocket, and my wife was like, for God's sake,
Are you going to hang
away.
that up anytime soon?
Yeah, I was like, and then I was at shops and sort of like getting my wallet out, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, the London Marathon. Oh yeah, I did the London Marathon.
Exactly.
But I think, yeah, for all the training and everything you do, is you need something to.
You need your why. Yeah.
Plus, you know, when we all get old and we're all stuck in a nursing home, we're going to be terrible, aren't we? Because we're like, oh, here he comes again.
Well,
talking about his
I'm just
medals.
going out for my. I'm going out for my 5k run. You know, is what I'll be doing. It's like, don't stop me. I mean, my mum, 74, still running marathons. So, and she's going to be doing her first ultra marathon this year. She's doing the Serpent's Tail. I think it's down
Yes,
your
I
way.
know that one.
Yeah, it's down your way, isn't it? Yeah. So she's going to be doing that, which is incredible. And then I think she's retiring from longer distance at that point, which she won't. Yeah, I know she won't. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we've got to aspire to, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in those dark moments during your Ironman, what was it that you turned to kind of focus you through it and kind of really think, okay, keep you on track?
I think, to be honest, I don't know why. It's interesting because people are quite in awe when you say you did an Ironman, when you say you did like a 100k, a trail run, ultra trail run, or a 100 mile or something. They're like, they're just, for me personally, I found 100k running or more, like even more like harder than the Ironman. So during the Ironman, there were at the very last 8k, really, it got hard. But then you're so close. You're so close. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I would just let my actions speak, really. But when it gets really, really dark or deep during an ultra run, I just remember why I'm doing it, why I'm here. And I need to prove it to myself that for me, it's to show that I'm a kind person within, even though everything is stripped away from me. Just to be kind to the people around you at the checkpoints, to be kind to yourself, and it's just really deep.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've sort of been there when it's been quite hard, and I really want to give up. But then I kind of like think about all the help that everybody's given me, and like you say, you're really close to the end, and you just think, I could stop, but I've already run 40 miles, say.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
It's what I often think. Where's the fun in that? And you know, DNF. I spoke about DNFs earlier, and saying that actually the DNFs that I've had have not come lightly, but they've been the right decisions. And I've often said that actually, when I'm competitive, DNFs are much more likely. You know, so actually, when you do something that's self-supported, by relieving that pressure, you know, a DNF is kind of almost taken out of the equation, unless of course you get hurt. Actually, in my case, just in spite of getting hurt, I did get hurt.
Carried on. And not only did he carry on with his 100-miler, he went over the 100 miles and did like 112 just to ram it home that he was the best.
Definitely got over my thing. With broken ribs, I'm just going to add that in there. But did not know that at the time. Solid.
That's funny because you mentioned it's the same. For example, it doesn't matter what the challenge is that I set out for myself. As soon as I basically completed it, my body says, not a meter more, and all of a sudden it stops working.
Yeah.
Would have been the challenge 10k longer. I would have run that, no problem, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. It's all
It
in
is.
our mind.
I think I got stubborn at the end, and I got really stubborn at the end. I got to my goal, and I looked at my watch, and it said 111.8, and I was like, well, I'm not having that. So I ended up doing a circuit of Bath Cathedral, because I did the Cotswold Way. I did Bath Cathedral, back round to where the plaque is on the ground, because I thought that'll be about the right distance, and it was absolutely spot on. I was like, yep, that's more like it, thank you very much. So we can, it just shows you that actually when we're in that mindset we can be so stoic and stubborn, and that's why I definitely got plenty of that. Thank you. Talking about your your Trails and Twilights, it's called, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about your Trails and Twilights. I love these ideas, and it's got a ring to it. Trails and Twilights.
Yes, right.
What is it? What's it all
It
about?
sounds like a film.
Oh, thank you. And English is not even my native language, so I'm always trying to come up with an alliteration. Alliteration?
Yeah,
is what you call it?
alliteration,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Something that's nice. I just love to introduce people to the amazing world of trail running. It doesn't always have to be ultra running. That's also not where I started. I didn't know what ultra running is and that it exists. Also trail running I didn't know existed like 5 years ago. So with Trails and Twilight I thought, why not bringing my holistic run coach approach into an event and retreat. So what we do is we run on very lush, flat, foresty trails for like around 5k.
Nice.
Then we do some mobility exercises. Then we have a sauna and a cold plunge.
Wow.
And then we're gonna have supper together in a fire place underneath the stars. So
It's really wholesome.
Yeah, sounds
exactly.
amazing.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And I always have people who've never run on trails before. I have people who've never run 5k before. I have people who run ultras. They all come together, and what it's about, this is so important to me, is that we support each other on the trails, and we jog and we walk. It's just really about connecting with nature and the others, and
And how important have you found that as part of your journey, that kind of I suppose you immersed in the wilderness, how does that benefit you, I suppose, mentally, and that, I suppose, that co-benefit that has with your everyday life and also your running?
Life-changing.
Yeah.
I would say there's nothing that has such an impact, a positive impact on me in my life and my mental health and physical health than connecting with nature, and especially through running. I used to be like the overweight girl who couldn't even walk up 2 floors, needed to stop on the stairs and etc. So sitting here talking to you guys about trail running and ultras, it seems like a different life, if I'm honest.
I feel
It's a
the same.
familiar story, yeah.
I long story short, I went to the doctors. They told me that I had to change my lifestyle, that I was overweight. I went home, I told my wife, she said, you need to run. I said, I can't run, I've got bad knees.
Yeah.
Didn't. I did Couch to 5k, and then did a few bits and bobs, went to Emerson's Green Running Club, met people like Martin and another guy called Andre, and before I knew it, I was trail running and losing weight and loving life. And if I feel exactly the same, sat here now, talking to you, doing a podcast, talking about trail running, and 5 years ago, I would have been happy on a Sunday morning, eating chocolates and crisps, watching TV, and not really being able to see my knees.
So
It's
I feel
just-
you.
Just a crazy world.
Isn't it?
So it's transformational.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't really put it into words because I'm now doing this with you and talking to you, giving back to running and talking to other people about running is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the greatest gift, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
It
Definitely.
really is. And it just changed. Also, my life, as you said, like I used to drink and party and smoke, and I don't do anything of it anymore. And plant-based runner, and yes, that works too. Not everyone has to be one, but it's just like it helped me with my health. I had health issues, and my GP back then said to me, it was so detrimental for over decades. When I was a teenage girl, he said to me, because of my thyroid issues, I would, word by word, he said, you will never be skinny as the other girls, and you will never be sporty or run. And just thinking back about it, there's so many things wrong on so many different levels, as if being skinny as a girl is what you need to aspire to.
Yeah.
And saying to me that I can't run, and I just believed it for a very long time. Yeah.
And I think what that is it's just the exclusive nature of that language, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that actually, okay, right, you are sort of diminishing my worth as an individual. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily be skinny. It just means that actually you've been discounted, haven't you? And what we, I suppose what I've learned from being part of the running community is runners come in all shapes and sizes.
Absolutely.
And it's about being active, isn't it? Yeah. And what we can't do is we can't have sort of health professionals and all that sort of stuff just kind of writing us off. In a way that kind of almost scares us into action. What we've got to do is we've got to be thinking, okay, well, how can we as a community come together to really kind of enable people to be, I suppose, I always call it about the best version of myself, and actually, that is physical performance, that's mental performance, all that sort of stuff. And at times it's good, at times it's bad, but all the time is that you come back to this thing that we all love, which is running or exercise or whatever it might be, and we have gratitude for it, don't we? Which is like, I never thought I was going to be there, but here I am.
Yeah. It's funny because it doesn't even matter how I look like, if I'm honest. I always get people who say, for example, when I was training for ultra trail run, they're like, you don't look like an ultra trail runner. I'm like, how does an ultra trail runner look like? Then I train for an Ironman. They're like, because I'm not skinny enough for them to be an ultra trail runner. Then I train for an Ironman, and then people come up and say to me, you're an Iron girl. Like if you would ever, no one would call a 36-year-old man an Iron boy. No, I find it never ever. And they called me like this daily. And then all of a sudden I'm not muscular enough to do an Ironman. It's just it's frustrating. But again, I let my actions speak, and that's it. And now I love my body. I hated it many years.
It's a good place to be.
It is.
We've only got a few minutes left, Josh, but I know you wanted to ask about nutrition.
Yes, well, we did talk about it a bit earlier, but I would like to do my first 100-mile race, or we'll say race in the next couple of years, which Martin's going to hopefully help me train.
We haven't arranged this.
In my home, we have. But yeah, I have always struggled with nutrition. I can't really seem to get it right. Round about 30 miles, I kind of stopped eating, and I've tried gels and pizzas and pork pies and everything. But yeah, maybe you could sort of give me some pointers of how I could. If I'm going to do 100 miles, I can't really stop at 30 miles, stop eating, because then obviously I won't make it probably till 50 miles.
Yeah. Very true, yeah.
So any help you could give me would be great.
Alrighty, so that is like one of the most commonly asked questions again. Nutrition. As you probably know, with triathlon as well, we call it the fourth discipline. Nutrition is really, you have to train your tummy. You really have to, and it's going to be hard. So when you're out there for many hours a day, these are really the training runs where you want to try as much as you can very early on.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few unpleasant training runs, but they're also going to be good ones. And I think there's no one answer.
No.
100% not. But if you say you stop getting hungry, you don't want to eat it, then drink the calories.
Okay.
Have you tried Tailwind, for example, or some?
I did try it once upon a time, and I didn't really get on with it. But I am willing to sort of, because I was very young in my career a couple of years ago. I could try it again, because I know that Martin uses it, and I know there are sort of benefits from it, because we're obviously drinking it.
Yeah, exactly. There are different brands out there, so I can also give you a few more tips on different brands, and they have different flavors, and some are unflavored, because me, for example, I always have a big selection of everything. So I always have something sweet, salty, savory. I have something very fluid, like kind of chewy and solid food, because I never know when I'm in there for so many hours what I'm gonna crave in the end.
Yeah.
So my best advice would be have all of these categories, try them all out, And if you really don't want to chew anything, try different powders or even gels. You
Okay.
can use gels and mix them with water.
All right, okay.
There might be just something that suits your tummy.
Yeah. You'll probably receive an email from me.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'd be interested.
I think it's interesting, isn't it, with the food thing, is that one thing I've always held dear when it comes to nutrition in a race is listen to what your body's asking for. So I'll be there and I'll be thinking, God, and because actually I find in a long race I can become very obsessed with food. I can become very obsessed with food and drink, and even to the point that I will talk to people about it, saying like, "Oh, what's your favourite post-race dinner?" I've talked to you about this because you struggle to eat after races, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And I don't. I basically eat everything after a race. So I will everything. So I will talk and I will obsess about food. But that is my body telling me what I need at that time. So if I'm saying, "Oh, I fancy some chips," I'm craving salt. So okay, have something salty. And actually, for me, I live and breathe by tailwind. And certainly I think it's changed my running completely. I will, at those points, I'll chuck extra snacks in. So if I'm really craving something, I've had things like ice lollies, it's like, I can really like an ice lolly. And there's certain ice lollies that I know I really like and are really sweet, acridly sweet. But listen to your body.
Yeah,
is what I often say.
I just have a vision now of you just running along in the wilderness, sucking on an ice lolly.
That is exactly what I do. Yeah,
I think it's just you've just made my day.
Yeah. So and actually, I've known to run along like the Cornwall coastline, and I'll drop down into a village, knowing that they've got a shop there, just to get an ice lolly. To do these sort of things. You've got to listen to your body.
I think we really need to think back to if we ever do make the big time. This episode will be gold.
Well, it's gold already.
I can just see people giving you ice lollies now.
Ice lollies, oh my gosh.
I can get freebies, yeah. I didn't mention the brand. We might have got sponsorship out of it. Who knows?
Maybe.
We've not gone corporate yet. For a new endurance runner, if you had to give 3 pearls of wisdom to a new endurance runner, what would they be? Because we are coming to the end now.
So much fun right now. Are we talking to someone who has already trained for an ultra, or who wants to?
It's
do
a
an ultra?
brand new ultra runner, brand new endurance.
Brand new endurance runner. 3 pearls. I would say your mind is your strongest muscle, and you need to train it. You need to do mindset practices at some point. Like your body will do what you tell your body to do. And if it screams stop it, and you don't have the mindset tools to know actually that I can go further, it's all right, you would just stop. So definitely that would be number 1. Number 2 is nutrition. It is a discipline. You need to train your tummy. And the third one would be trying to think of the right words now. It's just really about enjoy every single step. Just be as present as you can in nature, because there will be only this one time when you do your first ultra. And it's going to be just an incredible journey. And as long as you really focus on left, right, and be in the moment and connect with nature, it's going to carry you through it.
I think that's a really nice thing to finish on there. Thank you, Tamara, for talking with us today.
It's been brilliant. Really, really nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too, honestly.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Josh, do you remember those moments right at the beginning where you'd started your running career?
Yes.
And you were kind of having the good days, bad days.
Still having them.
Okay. What do you find helps after you've had it's really not gone well? You have a funk day, and how do you pull yourself out of that funk?
For me, it's all about having my running friends around me.
Yep.
I have my own WhatsApp group, as you know.
Yeah.
And just sort of putting on there, all you need to put on there is God's day's run was rubbish, and you get the support from all your friends.
You've got a tribe.
Yeah, I've got a tribe.
Built your tribe, and
And-
that's really quite important, isn't
I
it?
think it's very important to have a tribe, we'll say it is, around you, of people you really trust.
Yeah.
Trust their, their experience, and also then you can help them to, when they're having a bad time. That is one of the fundamentals, I think, of if you are going to do any type of running. You need friends around you,
Yeah.
and hopefully they are runners.
And I guess that's where joining a group or a club comes into its own, doesn't it? Because
It
you
does.
can feed off each other's successes, and then use those successes probably to kind of manoeuvre those more tricky times
Yeah.
where you think, oh God, it really didn't go the way it should have done today. So we're here now with Kinetic Sports Physiotherapy and
Yeah,
Coaching?
physiotherapy and sports massage.
Okay, where are you based?
So we're based in Warmley, Bridgegate,
Okay.
and we offer physio, sports massage, and we also do strength and conditioning coaching. So we found that was a massive gap, that actually runners, we love running, less so sort of strengthening side.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make sure that we deliver all of that. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm hanging myself out there,
No.
not as much as I should. I've got all
Yeah.
the kit, but I don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, really common.
Totally unaccountable.
Really
Yeah.
common, and actually a lot of the injuries that we're seeing coming in are actually really solvable with some preventative strength and conditioning. So yeah, we're offering that. And I think what makes us a little bit different is we're all runners ourselves, so we understand from the runner's side as well as the physio, sports massage side. So
Yeah. Because actually we can all be idealistics, we all know what we should be
Yeah.
doing, but we've also got to be realistic, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
And how do you adapt your approach to actually say, okay, well, lifestyle often does
Yeah.
get in the way. How do
Yeah.
you tailor that?
I think I'm a big one for that actually, because I've worked in the NHS as well, and you see that quite often, people coming in and they've been given like 10 exercises to do, and then it's really overwhelming and you just end up doing nothing. So I think from my side it's about working with the client and seeing, right, what's actually achievable for you to do? Like, is 5 minutes a day all you can kind of manage? Right, what's the priority then? Is that one exercise that maybe we get you doing every day, or are there little snippets of exercises? So you're waiting for the kettle to boil, can you do your calf raises then while you're waiting for the kettle to boil?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good time. I have done that.
Yeah.
A few squats when I'm making
Yeah.
my wife a coffee.
When you get out of
Yeah.
the shower.
Yeah.
No one wants
Nobody
that.
wants to envision that. That's what I do. How can people find you?
So you can find us on Instagram at Kinetic Sports.
Yep.
So yeah, at Kinetic Sports on Instagram. We're quite active on there, or online, Kinetic Sports in Bristol. We've actually also just opened up in Cheltenham as well. So we have a site up in Cheltenham as well.
Marvellous.
But yeah.
Brilliant. Great talking to you.
You too.
Thank you. When you came to a running show like this, what was it that you were hoping to get out of it?
Oh, I was just being a bit nosy and just wanted to look at the different stuff they have on offer. Yeah, it was good. I only came for about an hour.
Yeah. Have a bit of explore, see what it's all got to go.
Exactly.
We are, of course, going to have a little bit of a nosy round in a minute, and we're going to talk to a couple of the exhibitors.
We are.
See if we can get some freebies, mate.
Yeah.
That is what we want, isn't it?
That is what we want.
So we can give you good listeners some prizes, yes.
Yes, that's what we want.
Oh yes, and yes, we are trying to bribe you into listening to future episodes of Stride by Stride, and what self-respecting podcaster wouldn't do the same?
Exactly.
So we are here with Chippenham Half Marathon organisers, so from Chippenham Running Club. Yes?
Chippenham Harriers Running Club,
Chippenham
yeah.
Harriers. And can you tell us a little bit about the history of your event and what it's all about?
Well, the event was originally put on to celebrate the Chippenham Harriers 25th anniversary. It's now been running for 18 years. Yeah, obviously we missed a couple of years because of the COVID lockdown when the world stopped. But now we're coming back and we're gradually building the numbers back up towards our full allowance. We struggled initially, just about broke even, and now we're starting to make more and more money for the local charities.
That's great. And which charities are you supporting locally?
We support quite a few charities, Matt. Who did we support last year?
Yeah, so last year we supported the Rise Trust. They all tend to be local charities to Chippenham, so we try and encourage the local companies and charities to collaborate.
You want to give back to the community
Exactly.
when you're running.
Absolutely. So there's charities called the Rise Trust who look after families who are perhaps struggling in life in whatever way. We've donated to various other mental health, Doorway,
The local schools.
Local schools,
that help us out, so we help them out.
Good. And there's the local, one of the villages on the course, they're rebuilding a village hall. We've donated to that as well. So, we look
that's
to help
amazing,
them.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I like that, especially
Virtuous
because then in time, when we're a little bit older and we're walking past, you say, we help them out.
Yeah.
Something that's
Gratitude.
yeah.
And what's the date of your event?
It is
It's on the 4th.
September the 14th.
September the 14th. I'm entered, and it's part of our club championship this year at Emerson's Green Running Club. And is it? Would you say it's a race that's open for mixed ability?
Yeah, we've got the first runner home last year was about 68 minutes.
Okay.
The last one was just under 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got a massive spread of abilities. Everyone seems to enjoy the event. It's in the local, a lot of the local championships with various clubs. And with it being put on by the club, we do try and keep the costs down as much as we can.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so thanks for joining us. These guys, Chippenham Half Marathon. Hope it goes well, and I'm looking forward to running it.
Well, thank you. Look forward to seeing you.
Cheers.
Here at Stride by Stride, we have a gift for you. We have a prize. If you would like to win a discounted place to the Chippenham Half Marathon on the date just mentioned, then please send us your funny stories. We want to know about your funniest story from a half marathon race. Keep it short, keep it funny. Send it to stridebystridepodcast@gmail.com, and we will announce the winner by the 1st of May.
Yeah, you're right to talk?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. Are you local?
Yeah, we're uni students.
Oh, Bristol or UWE?
Bristol.
Okay, all right, okay. The other side. I work at UWE. And got into running before coming to uni, or is this something that's helping you out with your studies by doing a bit of getting outdoors, getting active?
It's been helping me with my studies. I started at uni.
Okay.
Yeah, same with me. Joining the university clubs has been really helpful.
Excellent. With it. What sort of stuff do you do at your uni running club? Is it social runs or?
Yeah, social runs. We do a coached interval session.
Okay.
Once a week. So.
Oh, that's excellent then, isn't it? So kind of caters for all abilities. Yeah. Excellent. And I suppose, for you coming to university and getting involved in something like a running club, how did that help your transition from moving from home, wherever home may be?
It helps a great deal, a sense of community.
Yep.
And also, it's just fun, isn't it, to meet people like-minded. And I always found the weekends quite lonely.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no uni, everyone's just hungover.
Yeah, and
So
you
it's
might.
quite nice to get up and go for a run and get out.
Yeah, because you might not want to be hungover
Yeah.
every Sunday. Oh, that's brilliant. And are you working towards any races, guys?
Bristol Half, yeah.
Bristol Half.
Nice.
Okay. In about 6 weeks' time,
Yeah.
roughly.
We start
Okay.
training.
Do you have any goals in mind?
I think we both said we were hoping just to have fun with this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, excellent. Fine. And did you met at uni? Did you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Friends for life then now.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Great to talk to you guys. Have fun on your run. We're recording now, and we're here with Regenerate Whitchurch Athletics Track, and we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what this cause is all about, if possible.
Well, Whitchurch Athletics Track has been in South Bristol since 1973, and we all know that there's a housing crisis at the moment, and our argument is that why should a 50-year-old track that we can use for the benefit of the community be demolished for houses? And there's only 125 houses being built on this site. Those houses could be built elsewhere. It's no secret that South Bristol is lots of areas that are very deprived in South Bristol. A lot of health issues, obesity, inactivity, mental health. we are fighting a campaign that this track should be saved for the local community. My daughter trains with Bristol West Athletics Club. She does sprinting, and we have to drive 3 times a week from Whitchurch to Whitehall at considerable expense. And we've got a track on our doorstep which is rotting, and we think that these facilities should be fought for, particularly in areas like South Bristol, where health and well-being issues are so prevalent.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously Whitchurch Track and running tracks in Bristol are quite scarce, aren't they? So we know that there's obviously stuff that are in. You've got one at Abbey Wood, and there's one at Whitehall, and then one in, but no real facilities down in South Bristol, like you say, where there is areas of deprivation. Are you finding that you're getting a lot of backing from the local community? Are they rallying round?
Massive. So on our petition at the moment, we've got over 5,600 signatures on our petition. We've been doing a lot of canvassing door to door in the area. People are absolutely outraged that it's going to be removed, but the council are doing things very much on the quiet, and it's very difficult for local groups to actually use the track. So what we're trying to do is trying to raise its profile locally, working with local councillors. Councillor Tim Kent has been very helpful to enable us to get onto the track so we can start to see things happening there. But yeah, there's huge support. We've been doing assemblies in local schools. The kids are really excited that there could be something happening on their doorstep. We're working with Avon Somerset Police as well at Broadby Road. They've been very supportive. Terry Murphy there. You can see it has been a very positive distractor for kids away from antisocial behaviour. And Knoll West, which is where the 2 boys were tragically stabbed last year, is 5 minutes from this track.
Absolutely.
So, you know, there's a real positive. This track can hit a lot of different areas in a very positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. And how can people get involved?
So people can get involved by signing our petition. So you can find us on Instagram, the Whitchurch Track Project. You can find us on Facebook, Whitchurch Athletics Track. We also have the petition. If you search on ITVX, Whitchurch Athletics Track, ITV News West Country did a report on the track last year. Also in the Bristol Cable as well. They've reported on us. So there's lots of information around and out there, and it's just really about creating as much noise as possible.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want this to be lost. No. And we're also, something else we're trying to do as well, because we recognise that there's lots of groups in South Bristol that are facing the threat of housing. So we've got Yew Tree Farm, we've also got the Eagle House in Knoll West, and the athletics track. And we're coming under a new umbrella called the South Bristol Community Coalition, where groups working together strengthen numbers, because we recognise that we need housing, but what about infrastructure? What about services? We need new doctor surgeries. You can't just plonk houses in an area and say that's going to sort the problem. It might make things look pretty for 5 years, but 10 years down the line, every problem in that area is going to be magnified. And now is the time. Once the track goes, it goes, and we've got to fight for it. We've got to fight for our local facilities. So please stand with us to support us. We really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. So yeah, just a reminder, you can get involved by signing the petition and various different community events through social media channels. So get involved. Very important. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, hi there. I'm Martin. Josh. We're from Stride by Stride podcast. And are you okay to talk on the episode today? Marvellous. Are you local?
No.
Oh, where have you come?
Edinburgh.
Oh, okay. Are you the boss of the club that we were just talking to back there?
Oh, Morag.
Yes.
Technically, yes.
Oh, that's how she described
she's
you.
difficult to keep in check.
Okay. And so you purposely come down to Bristol for this, or?
Yeah. Well, no. Yes and no. We did yesterday a pasta making course in Bath.
Yes.
And we're now trying desperately to run off the pasta.
Okay. Well, you were fueled. You were fueled after yesterday's carbs. You needed to do something with it.
Yeah.
Grand.
But just to say, if you can't talk whilst you're running too fast.
Absolutely. Well, and absolutely, this is the test. That's why they put us on the course today, to work out actually are people really going for it, or are they taking it easy?
So, enjoying the ambience.
Yeah. Being part of a running show. I've got too many layers on, mate. I'm burning up. Yeah, well, we're going to drop back in a minute because we actually we didn't start at the start line because we were busy interviewing somebody inside. But we did want to talk to as many people as we can So we're probably going to spend most of the next lap walking, I think.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
But thank you. And just a reminder, can you tell us your running club?
It's Jog Scotland.
Yep.
We meet at the Meadows in Edinburgh.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Lovely, thank you.
So big shout out to Jog Scotland there, based in Edinburgh. Thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you. Hi, yeah, we're now here with Bristol Stepping Sistas, which is a women of colour running group based in Bristol, I'm guessing. From there. A walking group, okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your walking group and where you're based, where you start off from?
So we're based in Bristol,
Yep.
and it's just a way to kind of get women of colour together to kind of go for walks, try and be a bit more healthy, get back to nature. There aren't that many, I think, walking groups, or maybe not that many opportunities, I think, for women from certain communities to kind of go out into nature, so we're just kind of trying to bridge that gap, I guess.
Yes, and reach out to the community. Do you start from different places, is it, or do you already have like a base that you already go
No,
from
we
every
usually
time?
start from different places,
Okay.
Depending on which trail we're doing, so
Okay.
we usually meet up at a certain point and then go from there.
Okay, and how long have you guys been doing this now?
I've been around a little while, during COVID is when we started it.
Okay.
But Sophie would know more about how long the group has been running for.
Yeah.
But it's just a really good way of creating a space for black and brown women to walk, talk and connect with nature and do it safely, regardless of where we go.
Yeah.
So we've been all over the place, literally Pensford, we've been to Kingston, we've been
Wales, South Wales.
We've walked all over and we've met some really nice people along the way.
Does it involve like a nice coffee at the end?
Sometimes there's a pub lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is always
It's a
nice.
sweetener.
Yeah. And how many sort of women do you normally get on a typical walk?
That's a good question. What would you say?
Up to about 30.
Really?
Oh, wow. That's great.
I've only been on a couple, and I think that was about 15 or 20 on the ones that
I think that's like really nice then to have like a really good sort of chinwag chat about everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
What sort of distance do you normally run? Walk, sorry. I've been talking about running all day, mate.
Sorry, this is a running space.
No,
I know,
it's
I
all right.
know.
It's just because every time we start one of these things, it includes the word run. Okay, walking is also really important, people. Okay, so how far do you normally walk to get that right?
I think it kind of varies.
Yes. We go from 1 mile literally to, I know that I think the best I've ever done was about 12 miles.
Okay, excellent.
And we didn't intend to do 12 miles, we just got chatting along the way and it was a lovely day and we ended up in a nice pub.
Yeah.
So I know there was to Hadrian's Wall, is what we did the length of
Oh, wow,
Hadrian's Wall,
okay.
so that took a few days. I didn't do that one, I don't know if you did. But I think that's probably one of the longer ones.
Oh, this is really important, isn't it? Like bringing people around something to connect with nature and feel safe is really important, isn't it? So, and how can people find you?
Well, that's something we need to work on, but there is a website.
Okay.
There's a full website and it's literally on the front there.
Okay, yep. So that's www.Bristol Stepping Sistas, sistas.co.uk.
We also have an Instagram if you're active on social media.
Yep.
Same name, Bristol Step Sistas.
Yeah, okay. Perfect, excellent. Okay, and thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for your
Okay.
time and space.
Thank you.
Yep, so we're here with Frome Valley 10K.
Yep. So a lot of people hear Frome Valley and they think, oh, Frome, that's not local. But they're wrong, because this is our part of the Frome Valley, Long River. So it's based in Winterbourne.
Yes.
It's an event, a charity event to raise money for Elm Park Primary School PTA.
Okay.
So we start and finish at the school. First 5K are the roads around Winterbourne. We show off our lovely duck pond and some of our lovely houses.
It's a good duck pond.
It is a good duck pond.
Because in my working life, I work around that area. So yeah, I pass the duck pond all the time.
Yeah, we're very proud of our duck pond. And then we send you down into Moor End, and then you join, for the second half, we send you onto the Frome Valley walkway.
Yep.
So there's a few bridges to run over.
Yep.
A lovely Huckford viaduct to run under. a tree to jump over, and a ball to run away from.
Lovely.
And
Keeps you motivated.
Yeah, definitely. And then at the end, we give you cake. And also, if you like throwing paint at children, we've got a colour run as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's an actual event, throwing paint at children.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. They've done their safeguarding training on that. I'm absolutely sure.
Oh yeah. Would you recommend like sunglasses or goggles or whatever?
And when does this event take place?
So it's Saturday, the 26th of April, at 10 a.m.
Where can people find out about you?
So we have a Facebook page. I'm told we have an Instagram account.
Okay.
Don't think we're on TikTok yet. Maybe that's next year.
Okay.
So that's probably the best place to find us. Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, just Google Frome Valley 10K, will come up.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are here with the Conquer 24 to talk about the. Is it a 24-hour race?
It is a 24-hour event. Yeah, it's more of a a weekend festival at the Powderham Castle. You can take the challenge on solo or as part of a team.
Yep.
And it's a stunning course. It's not too undulating. It's 133 meters of elevation across the 8-kilometre course, so it's pretty accessible. It's pretty accessible for most people to get round. And it's just it's a stunning course. Takes you through the deer park. You get to run along the 600 fallow deer, alongside the fallow deer and through the castle itself, and it's a great atmosphere for solo runners and teams to just really take in the great outdoors and be together and challenge each other together, which is it's really lovely.
And how many times have you run this event?
So we've staged it the first time in 2021.
Okay.
And then that was off the back of the pandemic, and it was very, very difficult to get any dates going forward at the Powderham Castle because the backlog. But we're relaunching this year, so this is our second run.
Okay, right.
And it's it's going to be really, really exciting.
And of course, backyard ultras really kind of gained strength during like the pandemic, didn't they? Because people were, running lots of distance in a very confined space, weren't they, on their own back? Yeah. Have you found that entries have been buoyed by that kind of, I suppose, drive towards doing backyard ultras? Have you seen the benefit from that?
We're only into our second year, so we only have so much data to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, at our first event we had over 600 and we're expecting probably similar numbers at the first event, so that was over the weekend. It's tough.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of hours, many hours. We're not making any money out of this. We're building an event that brings people together in the great outdoors. We're working with great charities and community projects, and that's where the benefit is for us. There's not a lot of money in it, believe you me. It's for the love of it, really. Because it's a lot of hours and numbers. I think in this space in general, in the sort of teams and community aspect of events, are sort of going up from what we've seen. So and it's really just about us trying to also become more eco in the sense that offering people whether they want to have a t-shirt or not, or medal or wood and all that sort of stuff. So we're just trying to do the best we can to not have we want to have a positive impact on sort of
I think that's really good.
And what's the record on the course?
So the record is 120 miles set by Adam Holland in 2021. So it's
that's a hard.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
a tough cookie to break. That is.
But it's going to get beat because there is a whole host of very talented runners that are going to be taking part. Very GB team athletes. There's a whole host of 24-hour athletes queuing up to take that record. So I should imagine it's not going to stand.
Records are there to be broken.
That's right. Yeah, that's
what we like, and I'm sure Adam would agree with that. Having run with Adam, I know that he just think, break my record by all means. Yeah. So that's great. And so, tell us the date again of your event.
So the event is the 6th to the 8th of June. The main event starts on Saturday the 7th at 12 o'clock, goes through to Sunday 12 o'clock. And it's going to be a really incredible event. Lots of well-being activities going on the Saturday, social on the Friday night. And it's be really nice to see loads of people come down and just really, celebrate our love of the great outdoors, adventure, and the community spirit.
Yeah, excellent. So that's Concord 24, Powderham Castle near Exmouth, I believe.
Near Exeter.
Exeter.
15 minutes out of Exeter.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
I knew it was in that sort of direction. Google them and find them.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, or find us at www.concord24.com.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Sort of runs
We're
today.
getting close because there's Southampton coming up.
Yep.
Newport, London, obviously, Brighton.
Yep.
So we are right in the middle of marathon season at the moment,
We
aren't we? So yeah, that's epic, isn't it?
It is.
That people are doing that. Double days for me have been transformational.
Okay.
Down the years, just kind of right. I'm going to go out and I'm going to run 3 miles in the morning, and do 3 or 4 miles in the afternoon. Do one at recovery pace and one at tempo pace.
Okay.
Normally in that order. And I felt that it's really helped with some of my endurance running, but also that thing that Tamara was talking about around training your mind.
Yes.
It's that thing. Okay, I've done 3 mile in the morning. I get out, do all my work, whether that be stood in front of the class teaching or doing my admin.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I've got to get my kit back on and run home. And that requires quite a lot of discipline.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And you've got to switch your brain back on. Okay, right, I'm running again.
Yeah.
And if I do a session, the session comes second, so the tempo run comes second, it means that I've have to switch my brain on in a very different way to just jogging.
Yeah.
So I totally buy into that. It's all about building your brain power.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for talking to us. You're from the Bolt at Badminton. Can you talk to us a little bit about your brand new running race, isn't it? Or fairly new running race?
It's actually the third Bolt that we've had at Badminton, so it's the third year we've done it. Okay. It's a fundraiser for a local primary school in the area, Trinity Primary School in Acton, Turville. So all proceeds that are raised go to the school. We're all parents from the school, and so we organise it. We have a subcommittee that do it. It started off as a 5k, and now we offer a 5 and a 10k. The 10k is 2 loops of the 5k track. So the Badminton Estate, a lot of people know the Badminton Estate for the horse trials, and so they very kindly allow us to run this race on their ground. So they open it up for the day. We're there in the morning. We do the race. We have it timed by DB Max, so it's all chip timed, and then we have a barbecue and a few refreshments afterwards. So it's a great event. We're trying to get as many children, families, runners, all ages there. So whether you want to, set a PB or whether you just want to do the race, everybody's welcome. So that's really it.
And do you run it yourself?
I have run it myself. This year I'm kind of on the committee organising it, so I don't know if I'll be running, but I run around there a lot anyway. So what I can say to people is it's a lovely setting. You're even there now if you go there in February on cold days. It's beautiful. This time of year you see the deer up there. They won't be there at that point because they would have had the horse trials, but it's just a great location.
Brilliant, excellent, fantastic. So, and how can people sign up to the race? Where's entry based?
So, where entry is on Race Nation. So, if you for people obviously listening, if you were to Google the Bolt of Badminton Estate, it would direct you to Race Nation. If you go to Race Nation and look it up, you could find it there. Okay. Obviously, for people here today, we have a QR code where you can find it. If anybody listening to your podcast, that doesn't help them. So, Google's your friend. Karen is advertising on Instagram and Facebook, so you'll find it on social media too, so that's your best way to find it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and I hope that it goes really well and you raise lots of money for such a great cause.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. It doesn't matter who you talk to in the running world, there is always something that you will learn.
Yeah.
regardless of how long you've been running. So, you know, running 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever, there'll be something that you can draw from it, because we are not, you know, just complete.
We're not
athletes,
machines,
are we?
No.
So we're with Redfish Events.
Got that out eventually.
And what's your name?
My name's Tracy.
And would you like to talk to us a little bit about your whole running stuff and your events that are coming up?
Yeah, no problem. So this is my 9th year. So started off with the Dilton Dash, obviously 9 years ago. From each one of my events, I do make a big donation to different various charities.
Wow.
And I added it up the other day, and I've given just under £20,000 to various charities. So the one, for example, the Dilton Dash, it always goes back to Dilton. So it's gone to the preschool, it's gone to the Memorial Hall, it's gone to the church. I bought them a lawnmower to sort out the pollen count last year.
That's great.
Playing Crazy, which is a bit more extreme, I took that one over just before COVID. It's been going for 10 years, and that one always goes to the Royal British Legion Poppy Appeal, Warminster branch.
Yep.
So I'm quite small, low-key, maybe a couple of hundred, but I always make sure everyone finishes before the trophies are handed out. You know, anyone, all abilities can come. We've got from a half a K, because I try and encourage the little ones now, 3K, 5K, 10K, 11K, 12.5-ish miles.
Yeah, excellent. And do you actually run them yourself? Or do you have
So
them
normally in the morning, when I was running, I would run around in the morning to do health and safety checks at 5:30 in the morning, but now I drive as much around as possible as I can.
I understand.
And I've seen photographs from Playing Crazy, and I've seen people, some bearded guys who have had their beards coated in icicles.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that was Playing Crazy.
So I think the first year we took it over, we had snow, and it was pretty, so the description I think is something like bleak, desolate, someone lost their soul, but he did realise he'd broken his ankle a couple of weeks before.
Okay.
But he still did it. So.
Fair enough.
Excellent. Do I need to grow a beard then?
We could just get a wig, beard wig.
Oh, okay. I could do Christmas wig, because it's just after Christmas and before the New Year.
Okay, I can do that.
And so it's Redfish Events, and they can find you at Redfish Events on Facebook.
Facebook, and I now, after 9 years, have a website.
Okay.
Woo-woo.
So Google that one and find that. So that's all based like predominantly in Wiltshire then.
It is, yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
No problems, thank you.
We've pretty much exhausted the field now, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
We haven't exhausted the field.
Well, we've I think we've spoken to quite a few people.
Yeah.
And we're just taking it a little bit easy.
Yeah, I'm jeffing, mate. You know,
jeffing? What is jeffing?
So jeffing is basically what we do on ultra runs.
Okay.
Which is where we run kind of to a level, normally to race pace.
Okay.
And then you walk for a minute or two, and then you continue. Now, there's a lot. I think it divides the community in terms of whether that counts as running or racing or whatever. But actually, from a sort of cardiovascular point of view, there's actually no benefit for it. And actually, you can, particularly at endurance level, you can potentially finish quicker than if you were to run the whole time.
Okay. Well, I've been doing it this whole time now.
Yeah, you've been jeffing and not even knowing about it.
No.
You know, so it may be a case, and I've done this, you know, even when I've been struggling actually during ultra races. So you'll be running along and thinking, oh, do you know what, this is just not easy right now.
No.
And what you do is you step off the gas, and what you do is you walk. You say, right, okay, I'm going to walk for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to run for a minute and a half.
Well, we kind of did that, didn't we, last summer?
Yes.
On the Green Man.
Yeah. And actually what that does is it really breaks down your run and helps you focus on what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And also, it makes it really manageable. You think, well, I can do a minute and a half running.
Yeah.
And then I'll get another rest, great. But then I need to be disciplined and think, okay, that minute and a half of rest time, recovery time, is going to finish eventually.
Yes.
Which I guess when you're doing something like kilometre repeats, where you might do a kilometre at 7 or 8 out of 10, and then you do 1 minute walking, and you do that 5 times, you've actually drilled yourself. into that approach. Josh and I are here now with Soul Sisters North Bristol, who have been organising the Bradley Stoke 10K. So can you give us a little bit about the background around your organisation?
We always run on Mondays, so it all started with Penny and a group of other Soul Sisters. They used to run together. We are not a competitive group, so it's like meeting the needs of the running, and now we are in our 20th year this year.
Yeah.
So it will be like 20 years since then. We got like thousands of runners. They have crossed the finish line with us.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And
it's a non-competitive running route. We meet on a Monday evening from 6 o'clock. The runs go out at 6:15 from various places in Bradley Stoke.
Yeah.
And if you look on our website, there's the diary, and you can see which venue we're running from on that particular night.
Okay.
And there's a beginner's course that runs a few times each year, and the running groups are 3, 4, 5 and 6 mile groups, and it's very inclusive. We're very keen to have new members come and join us.
And how can people find you? So what? How do they land upon Soul Sisters?
we do have an Instagram page, which is Soul Sisters North Bristol page, and then we do have a website, and then we do have Facebook page as well. So we got active social media people, which are always updating all the key events on the websites and all the social handles.
So lots of different abilities, something for everyone. Come and get involved if you're based in North Bristol. Thanks very much for talking to us.
No worries, thank you.
Cheers. I think we're going to walk in now to let
we are,
everyone
because we
continue.
We cheated.
Yeah, and I think what we'll do is we'll stop there, shall we?
Yeah, that'd
Josh?
be great. Thank you, Martin.
Cheers, Josh. I've been Martin.
I've been Josh.
And you've been listening to Stride by Stride.
That was our special feature from the Bristol Running Show. Thank you for listening to us. Goodbye.